Hi everyone, welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to be using milk cotton yarn and a 4mm crochet hook. If you don't have this type of yarn, you can use any other type of yarn that you have and a corresponding crochet hook. So let's begin. So the total number of your foundation chains should be an even number. So examples of an even number are 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 16 and so on. So for this tutorial I'm going to chain 28. If you want to work on a bigger project, you can increase the number of chains. So here I'm going to begin with my slip knot. And then I'm going to chain 28. Two, 3, 4, and then 5. So I now have 5 chains. I'm going to continue and come back with 28 chains. So I now have 28 chains. We're going to move on and begin the second row. So the second row we're going to crochet single crochet, and this is single crochet in US terms. In UK terms it is double crochet. So I'm going to skip the first chain from the hook, this one, and we're going to insert into the second chain from the hook. So I insert my hook, pick up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and then pull through. So this is my first single crochet. So I move into the next chain, this one, at the top part of the chain, insert my hook, pick up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and then pull through. So we're putting 1 single crochet in each chain. I move on into the next one, insert, pick up a loop, yarn over, and then pull through. So I now have 3 single crochets here. I'm going to continue up until all the chains are done. So I now have my first row, and make sure that you crochet into the very last chain. If you were to count your stitches, you find that we have 27 stitches since we skipped the first chain. So here, moving on to the next row, we're going to chain 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then we 10. So to begin the next row, you're going to skip the first stitch, this one, and then we're going to yarn over, insert into the second stitch, okay, below the top 2 loops, these ones, and then you're going to pick up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, and work a double crochet. So this is a double crochet in US terms and a treble crochet in UK terms, like this. And then next, you're going to yarn over, you're going to insert your hook into this gap. So you insert, pick up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over again, insert, pick up a loop. So we now have 5 loops on the hook, yarn over again, insert, and then you pick up a loop. So we have 7 loops. So if you want it to be thicker, you can yarn over again and then insert. It's still fine. So here I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to skip the next stitch, this one, okay, we skip here and insert into the next one, pick up a loop like this, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops like this, yarn over, pull through all the loops, and then chain 1. Next we're going to yarn over, insert into this gap, pick up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, insert again, 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, insert again, 7 loops on the hook. Next, yarn over, skip the following stitch here, and then insert into this one, pick up a loop like this, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through all the loops, and then chain 1. So let's do this one more time. Yarn over, insert into this gap, pick up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, insert again, pick up a loop, 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, insert again, pick up a loop, should have 7 loops on the hook, yarn over, skip the next stitch here, and then insert into the following, pick up a loop like this. So at this point you should have 9 loops on the hook. So you yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through all the loops, and then chain 1. So this is our pattern. So I'm going to continue repeating the sequence up until we're towards the end of the row. So here I'm almost at the end of the second row. So here I'm left with 3 stitches, 1, 2, and then 3. So here I just did the chain 1. So I'm going to insert and work the 7 loops. Okay, so here next I'm going to yarn over, skip the next stitch, and then in this one pick up a loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all, and then I'm going to chain 1. So here, because we're left with this one last stitch, we're not going to work 7 loops again like we were doing. I'm going to put a double crochet into the last stitch. Pull through, then over, and then pull through. So this completes the second row. Moving on to the third row, it is going to be a repeat of the first row, which is going to be single crochet. So I'm going to chain 1, which is a turning chain, and then we turn. So here, one thing you need to make sure that you are inserting your hook into each and every stitch. Make sure that you do not skip a stitch. So you find that we have bigger stitches and smaller stitches. So make sure that you are inserting below each of these, below these top 2 loops of each stitch. Okay, so here we're going to begin in the first stitch, this one. So just below those top 2 loops, insert your hook and work a single crochet. So you're going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch. So the next stitch is this small stitch here. So I'm going to come and insert here, and then work a single crochet. Again, this is the next stitch. So just below those top 2 loops, work a single crochet. The next stitch is this one. So below that, we insert our hook and work a single crochet. So you continue like this up until the third row is done. So here I'm almost at the end of the third row. So you need to make sure that at the end here you adjust your stitches so that you see how many stitches you're left with. So you'll find that here I'm left with this one. So I'm going to put a single crochet here, and then we have this small one here. Okay, so I insert my hook and work another single crochet. So if you are to count your stitches at this point, you find that we have 26 single crochets that we just did. However, you should have 27. So the last stitch is going to come from the chain 3 from the previous row. So you come in the third chain of the chain 3. This is the chain 3. Okay, and then in the third chain, this one at the top of the chain 3, insert your hook. So make sure that you are inserting just below the top 2 loops of the chain 3 like this, and then work another single crochet. This way we have 27 stitches in the third row. So this completes the third row. Moving on to the next row, it is going to be a repeat of the second row. So you chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we turn. Okay, so just like we did with the second row, you yarn over, skip the first stitch, and then insert into the second stitch and work a double crochet. like this. Next, you work the 7 loops on your hook, yarn over, and set 1, okay, now we have 7 loops on the hook, yarn over, skip the next stitch, and then in this one yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through all the loops, and then chain 1. So this is going to be a repeat of the second row. So let's do it one more time. Here we work the 7 loops, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, 7 loops on the hook, yarn over, skip the next stitch, and then in this one pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through all the 7 loops, and then you chain 1. As simple as that. So I'm going to continue up until we're towards the end of the row. So here I'm at the end of the 4th row. To finish off, I'm going to put 1 double crochet in the last stitch, like this. Okay. So here we're going to be repeating the 2nd and the 3rd row up until you reach your desired height. So here I just repeated the 2nd row. So my next row we're going to repeat the 3rd row, which is going to be single crochet. So I'm just going to add a few more rows and then come back to show you the result. Okay, so I've added a few more rows and this is our pattern. It's beautiful and neat. Okay, you can use this for cardigans, scarves, or even baby blankets or throws. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, like, and comment for more videos. Thank you.